All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Maddie Hornsby. I'm the project manager for the Riot organization. Welcome to the Riot Lunch and Learn series. This is the place where we spotlight Riot sponsors. Today, we will be talking about how to roll out and monetize pay for service IoT ecosystems. Just a few quick reminders before we get started. This event is being recorded and will be posted to Riot's YouTube channel and uploaded to the meetup page where you registered for this event. If you have any questions, I will be monitoring the chat throughout the entire presentation. And lastly, please keep yourself muted throughout the entire event. With all that being said, I will throw it over to Ed Bray. Welcome, Ed.
Hi, Maddie. Thank you. Hi, my name is Ed Bray. I'm a technical sales and applications engineer with AEM Group located here in Raleigh, North Carolina. AEM Group supports Digi throughout the southeastern U.S. along with Air Electronics as a distribution partner. After speaking with Zipit, I realized the collaborative history between Digi and Zipit and felt it a benefit to share with the Riot community. With that, I would like to introduce Alec Yankee, Digi Embedded and RF Sales Engineer, and then he'll be followed by Ralph Heredia, Zipit's co-founder and Vice President of Business Development. I'll turn it over to Alec now. Alec, you are muted. There we go.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks so much, Ed. I appreciate the intro there. Just wanted to get everyone together here today. Appreciate everyone joining. Hopefully you can learn something about how, Digi and our partners here in Zipit and Arrow can help to monetize solutions and provide you with connectivity to your products in order to move forward and create good new designs and focus on your own business core competencies. So with that, I'll talk a little bit about Digi itself right away. So we're founded in 1985. We're up to around 700 employees worldwide. We've had consecutive years of profitability, even here through the tough times that everyone's going through right now. Lots of money in revenue and cash in the bank. So we're a very stable company. If you choose us for your IoT hardware solution, you can really be sure that we're going to be able to be there for the long run. And we'll be able to help you on a global scale as we have offices located all around the world, including our corporate headquarters here in Minneapolis, and then lots of R&D and sales offices all across the world that you can see on our map here. Using Digi products comes with many advantages, but right away, the first one that you're going to find is when you open up a Digi development kit, you're going to have quick and easy deployment and development of your solutions. So all of our products, come pre-certified, whether that be FCC certifications, cellular certifications, or otherwise, in order to be able to deploy to many locations across the globe, allowing you to develop your solution and not have to worry about whether your product can go in the country or not. We provide performance that fits, so we have multiple performance options, as I will talk through in this presentation, that can fit many specific application and market requirements and really go across many different markets across the US and the globe. Our products come with long lifespans, so we were born in the industrial space, and our customers have come to the expectation that our products will be able to be deployed and live out in the world and provide you good data and capabilities, throughout their lifetime, which can be 10, 15 years plus, especially in the industrial space. So despite technology changes, you can be sure that your Digi products are going to continue to work. We are a trusted partner. So this is where I talked about, being around for a long time, having a dedicated staff where all of our focus is on the Internet of Things and connecting devices. And we have a committed technical support staff that can be available 24/7. All of our products, as going into many markets such as medical and others where security is of the utmost importance, all of our products are designed with security in mind first. So we have up-to-date features that protect your assets from intrusions and threats and build Digi Trust Fence into all of our products. and that global expertise that will really help you. You don't have to focus on getting your parts out to the world and whether they're going to work there or not. Digi can be the one to provide those expertise, get the approvals and the certifications that are required in order to facilitate expanding your deployments globally. I'll talk a little bit about Digi and our different business units and kind of how we're broken down. First is our LTE routers and networking devices. So these are full enterprise cellular routers with industrial specifications that can go into enterprise, transportation, or industrial applications. We have lots of network servers and USB networking devices as well. And there's some, just to highlight some of a few of our products within that group. I am a part of our embedded hardware group, so I focus on our XP modules. So this is built-in RF communications for whatever type of protocols you need to build into your product. Single board computers and system on modules to provide computing power, GPU, and everything you would need to be able to run your application. And have many strategic relationships with sensor manufacturers to embed your hardware and provide that connectivity. We have a full suite of IoT device management software. So it's not only important to be able to develop your solution, but also to be able to manage it once it's out there in the field in order to be able to maintain that long lifespan. So with that, our suite of Digi Remote Manager, Digi Network Assistant, XCTU, and a few mobile apps that are available in order to manage your devices. We also have a component that is a full end-to-end solution called Smart Sense by Digi. This is supply chain and temperature monitoring for applications that can be in stores, in pharmacy. One of our applications that we helped with was, tracking the temperatures of, COVID vaccines as those were going out. So we can be in very vital situations there. We also have a wireless design services group, which can provide all kinds of turnkey product development, help you with proof of concept, help you with certification, no matter what that certification is or where it is in the globe, antenna design and software development. And all of these services can be available to design an entire product or to choose a la carte, so you can have your competencies that you work with, and then we can help supplement you with our own engineering team. And last but not least is our professional services group, which can help with application development and implementation services, very specific to our Digi devices. So we are the experts on our product, and we can help you to ensure a seamless deployment of our products. And wrapped into all of these different units is our trust fence security. As I said, we are security first company. So to break it down a little bit more here, we have our OEM solutions group. You can see all of the tools, the XP, the SBCs, and the system on modules that exist within that group. We then have our enterprise group, which includes our cellular and industrial routers, and then our software and services group to provide security and management services. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about Digi XP. If you haven't heard of it before, you likely have probably seen products around that are using it all over the world today. We do have over 15 million devices deployed and growing. We support a myriad of protocols on a similar form factor for each of the different protocols, right? So you can build in each of the, into your board, the through hole or the surface mount modules, and then you'll be able to plug in whatever type of connectivity your application requires, whether that be Wi-Fi, Zigbee, 802.15.4. All of our XP3 modules come with Bluetooth, and then we also have a line of cellular XP modules as well in order to embed cellular into your product. The key aspect of the Digi XP ecosystem is really simple. It breaks down things that are very complex, like RF communication, and provides you with simple programming modules in order to provide a common interface to your devices. So you can have our XP modules plugged into your host microcontroller or embedded controller, and then you can use a simple API and AT commands that is similar across all of our XP product lines in order to interface and communicate over using our XP products. They can also function as a standalone. All of our XP3 products come with MicroPython built in to allow you your own programming environment that could potentially run your application just on the XP module itself. We have a rich set of libraries to help you with your programming. So no matter what your expertise is in, whether you'd like to use C, Java, or Python, when programming and communicating with our devices, we provide libraries for each of those. We have our own embedded products with our Digi embedded Yocto ecosystem, and we also provide a Digi embedded Android on our system on modules. And then the real Digi secret that is really helpful in development, management, and keeping your products reliably communicating is our extensive tool set that's available. We have tools that can help you all the way from developing your product, deploying code to your product, testing in labs, a full series of APIs and libraries to communicate and configure your devices, full system of PyCharm IDE application that can allow you to access many of our pre-built examples that can allow you to, for instance, do BLE advertising communication on our XP modules, and many, many more examples beyond that. Network Assistant, which can help you to map out your network real time, and a mobile app that can help you to provision devices, and multi-programmers, dev boards, and reference designs that can all help you in your development and programming process. It is a truly flexible module that comes with many protocols that I've already mentioned, right? Whether that be in the 2.4 gigahertz spectrum, Zigbee 802.15.4, and Bluetooth. We also have our own proprietary protocol called Digi Mesh that has some advantages over Zigbee protocols, such as you can have asynchronous sleeping nodes and sleeping devices on your network for really low power applications. We also have 900 megahertz and 868 megahertz for Europe compliance that can help with long range RF communication. And then cellular drop-in communication that we offer LTE-M, NB-IoT, and Cat1 communications to provide any type of cellular connectivity that you need across the globe. These can support many different network topologies, whether that be single point-to-point, such as like a walkie-talkie application, star app topology, or a mesh network which can work really well with our Digi Mesh. And then each of these different protocols and topologies are supported by similar form factors and pinouts with multiple options for antenna connectors for each of the different devices. All of our devices come with Digi Trust Fence built in, which really means that you have secure boot, so you can be sure only authorized firmware is going to be booted up on your machine. We can securely authenticate and protect our ports. We do have secure storage chips and secure connections available on all of our different devices. And you can be sure that your device is future-proof as it is drop-in communications. And we have modules today that support 3G and 4G in the XP form factor. And in the future, as it begins to grow and become more ubiquitous, we will come out with 5G modules. So you can very simply take out your 4G and plug in your 5G and make sure that you continue to be able to have communications to your device. So it's really important to note that XP is really more than just a module. It is truly a complete IoT networking solution. So with this slide here, we kind of show you the full breakdown on what you're able to accomplish with an end-to-end solution of our full Digi hardware and software suite that is all built in to have module connectivity. We do have gateways that can communicate with those modules and plug into your devices. These can all communicate via WAN connection, cellular, Ethernet, or Wi-Fi to our Digi Remote Manager cloud platform, as well as AWS, Azure, or your own private cloud for integration with your own applications. And this can all be done via multiple different paths to suit your needs and your product needs. And then we have a series of tools and professional services that can be used to augment your expertise to deploy products. Here is kind of focusing on one of our newer products that is due to come out here in September. It is a new XB3 LTE-M NB-IO chip, IoT chip with 2G fallback and GNSS capabilities built in. It's going to be based on the Telit ME310. This will have seamless drop-in with our current LTE-M NB-IoT module, similar power statistics, but it will allow you for more global communications as it covers many, many bands that will allow you to work in well over hundreds of countries in the world, as well as countries that don't have LTE. You can rely on that 2G fallback for communication. As this is an XB3 product, it comes with Bluetooth and MicroPython built in, as well as our Trust Fence security. We will be sending out the presentation after the fact, so you don't have to write all of this down, but this is just kind of a breakdown of what form factors our devices and communication protocols are available in today and where we're going in the future, as well as what platforms and software they're compatible with. So with that, I really just want to say, no matter where you are in your IoT journey today, whether you're just looking into options and trying to educate yourself on the situation, whether you should do a build of a product or whether you should buy a pre-built product, Digi can really help you there, as well as all the way down to, you're looking for ways to innovate and separate yourself from the competition. So you're trying to provide flexibility, process optimization. Many of our customers throughout the process of working with Digi and working with IoT find that there are many more benefits that they find, such as predictive maintenance and workflow optimization, that they didn't even know would be there until they got the product built in, and they found how easy it was to work with and how it can help you scale and innovate to focus on your own business. So, I really encourage you guys to reach out to Digi. We're happy to be your IoT experts to help you to figure out how you can build out your IoT networks and really what kind of hardware and expertise are required to do so. We really do solve many mission critical and business critical machine communication challenges in some of the most demanding environments today. I could tell you many stories, where Digi products have been deployed in environments where you would not expect product to keep working. Steam pipes filling up with water during hurricanes, other things like that, where the water recedes and the Digi comes up and is still connected. So we are able to support really those tough environments where you typically would need a partner to be able to deploy products. So we can provide you that hardware solution that will be scalable, secure, and manageable once you get it deployed. So the hardware is definitely a key aspect of this, but another key aspect is really the connectivity aspect, and that is where Digi has partnered with Zipit, and we have some great customer use cases that Ralph Heredia will be talking about here today. So with that, I would hand it over to the co-founder of Zipit Wireless, Ralph Heredia, to talk about their business solution and how their software and services can help team up with our Digi hardware in order to provide a full manageable solution.
Thank you, Alec. I appreciate that. So Zipit helps IoT solution providers by providing carrier connectivity and easy to use subscription billing services that help monetize the platform services offered by these providers. After all, for many solution providers, the challenge is not getting cellular data from carriers, but how to manage that data correctly so that you're not underwater right away and your business model is turned upside down. It's one thing when you have overages on one device, but when it's 1,000 or tens of thousands, that's really a big problem. Next slide, please. So Zipit is a multi-carrier provider that is pre-negotiated, aggressively priced, worldwide coverage using multiple providers. We've been working with the leading providers for multiple years, with some relationships going back as far back as 2009. We look at the solution and help determine which carrier partners we can offer based on coverage, price, and technology. Because we're multi-carrier, we can provide very competitive and complementary coverage in many markets, whether it's a single SIM with worldwide coverage for a single SKU of your product, or it's multiple SIMs, each providing the best coverage in a given market. The Zipit platform makes this process simple and seamless. And we have many OEM customers bringing these solutions to market that are leveraging multiple providers. So Verizon and AT&T in the US, Rogers in Canada, Vodafone or Telefonica internationally, and that our platform enables that seamless experience. Next slide, please. The second core value proposition is the solution provider branded white label platform that we deploy to help solution providers offering compelling subscription plans to their customers that pay for not just the cellular service, but the platform services that they're providing as part of their solution. So think about a tracker company that wants to monetize the ability to track the GPS tracker, get notifications and alerts, geofence around a particular area. It's not just the cellular service that's consumed by the tracker, or a connected camera company that wants to offer comprehensive billing, comprehensive platform that enables their customers to log in, view pictures, get notifications when the pictures are captured, et cetera. It's not just the cellular consumption of the camera, but really the monetization of the entire platform. And so we handle not just that, we handle the collection and filing of taxes of the solution provider's behalf for the subscription service that we're actually managing through our platform. Next slide, please. The billing platform provides automatic carrier provisioning and device activation, deactivation. So if a customer starts a subscription, the device is activated on the cellular network. And if they deactivate a plan, it deactivates the cellular portion automatically. This eliminates the need for our customers or solution providers to have to manually manage the carrier connectivity. It's easy as picking a subscription plan on a monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, or annual basis. The solution automatically manages data allocation. So if a customer is supposed to have a plan that allocates up to 1 gigabyte, it can notify the user that they're running out of and they have to top off the data plan or upgrade their plans. And that is self-managed. So again, eliminating the need for the solution provider to have to change plans midstream, move things around. It is all done through a self-service portal that is branded with the look and feel of our customer or the solution provider that's bringing these solutions to market. Next slide, please. So the perfect example of this obviously is exactly what Hunter Industries needed for their integration controllers that they are deploying worldwide. The device contains Digi Gateway device certified for use around the world. And Zipit provides the carrier connectivity and the subscription platform to enable these services provided by Hunter Industries. So if you think about a solution like this, a customer in Southern California or Florida will need year-round service, whereas a customer in Maine or Michigan may only use the service for 1 to 2 quarters. Zipit's platform supports many different subscription options that fit the customer's needs. And so, when Hunter obviously takes this thing out worldwide, now they need additional carriers with the same model. So that way they replicate that experience seamlessly, and it's a consistent experience around the world. That's a great example of the collaboration between Digi and Hunter and Zipit to bring the solution, and we can do the same thing for you. Alec, I'll pass it back to you.
Sure. Thanks, Ralph. Yeah, so I think it is great to focus on, the whole solution in order to understand how you can help to, monetize and roll out solutions, today in order to get your intro to IoT devices. With that, we do have a slide here with all of the contacts afterwards, once again, that we'll be sending out. So I guess, Maddie, did you have any questions come in as we were presenting?
I I haven't seen any questions in the chat so far, Alec, but we definitely invite anyone who would like to throw any questions in the chat at this moment or unmute yourself and ask Alec or Ralph any questions to do so at this time. Great presentation, by the way, guys. Extremely informative, and I appreciate how you all provided your contact information.
Absolutely. Definitely feel free to reach out to the contacts provided. And, we'd be happy to talk to you about your solution and what you're looking to do today and how Digi and Zipit can help you provide that solution.
I don't know, can you guys hear me at all?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Okay, I didn't know if I was muted or not. One question I would have is maybe some examples of how the monetization has actually happened. So how do you actually charge your customers? And then more specifically, I really like some of the examples like with Hunter, the irrigation stuff, on how this is used in B2B from an equipment standpoint. So to get real-time data off of equipment in manufacturing. Maybe I use an example of a sewing machine. You've got 100 sewing machines in a factory, and all those machines have data that get downloaded to, let's say, an interface in the cloud with AWS, and you've got the ability to monitor those things. How do you how would you go about a solution on that side?
Yeah, so with regards to what we did with Hunter as an example, to dig a little deeper in that, you accurately pointed out that Hunter offers this thing as a B2B platform, right? So this is, you see, it's universities, it's corporate campuses, and so there's a bunch of controllers all over the place throughout the entire property, managing multiple properties, for example. So the Zipit intelligence from the platform perspective actually was embedded inside Hunter's management portal for their irrigation controllers, right? And we have multiple ways of skinning this cat. One is using APIs within our platform to embed it into a solution like a Hunter or a Bushnell or something like that. But we also have a standalone portal that takes on the look and feel, the corporate look and feel of our customers. That allows their customer to go straight to a portal via a web link or QR code or something and log in, create their own account, and scan a device QR code, and it presents a specific data plan, a subscription plan. So if that customer wants to do our customer wants to offer their customers, right, a monthly plan or quarterly or half year or year like plan, which is exactly what we did with Hunter. They're able to do that, and so we have multiple examples of that. Like I said, it's either API integration, standalone portal integration. I mean, we have a customer, for example, that takes a router, throws it, puts it in a box, puts in a couple SIMs from Zipit, and has a little card that says, go here and sign up for a plan. And so the Zipit platform is really more than just a platform. It's actually a service that we're providing where we're helping monetize that, handling the credit card transactions, handling the taxation, like I said previously, and we're doing that on behalf of our solution provider customers. As it relates to your sewing machine example, there are multiple ways, again, that would be done. One way would be to have a portal, a standalone portal, where whoever's deploying those sewing machines or that factory deployment logs in, pays for that service. If it's a B2B type of a play where you're traditionally invoicing your customers, our platform can actually be used to provide the awareness and the knowledge of how many devices were activated, how much data was consumed, everything you need to be able to bill your customer from an invoice method. And we have customers that do that as well, that incorporate the carrier connectivity and use our platform to help monetize that and then still deal with the invoicing versus credit card transactions. So we handle all aspects of that, and probably there isn't a use case that we haven't come across yet.
Okay. Well, that definitely can tell that you can solve problems, and there's definitely a lot of ways to do it. Now, what I'm confused about is when you go to wireless, is wireless needed in a setting, a manufacturing setting that has, they've got high-speed broadband with IP address? Can you run that route, or do you have to have individual wireless devices for each machine? I mean, how does that work?
Okay, so that's I guess I misunderstood your question a little bit differently. When you say wireless, I think of it as primarily the cellular, which is what we're offering, but that's such a generic term, right? But if you think of devices like those sewing machines, let's say they're using Digi's mesh protocols or something like that to communicate with each other, and then fall back to or take that data and send it to a gateway device that's cellular connected. That's where we come in and help monetize it and provide that connectivity, and it enables that whole downstream data or upstream, if you want to say, data into the cloud, right? So whatever you're trying to do, the reason why you have sewing machines connected in the first place, as an example, right? I mean, there's multiple ways of handling that. If you're talking about specifically leveraging like a Wi-Fi network inside a building, right? And those sewing machines are either Wi-Fi or whatever, and they're using a Wi-Fi backhaul, right? We're not really engaged in that type of example. And the primary reason is the platform that we develop is really tuned to the cellular connectivity. So think about this, we have this spigot, right? We control the cellular connectivity of that gateway device. And if that gateway device is disabled and cannot connect to the internet, then none of the data from those devices will be collected and obviously, right? But you want to have people subscribe to a platform, so you start up that deployment. And I'll give you an example of where this makes sense. We have customers that have refrigerator monitoring solutions, right? So similar to the thing that you're talking about, right? So there's these 900 megahertz or Bluetooth BLE devices that you're throwing inside refrigerators. They're connected to a cellular gateway. That cellular gateway, sends the data to the cloud, and you get the notification saying, a refrigerator downstairs is off the charts and something's wrong with it, right? So you understand what's going on. You're paying for that solution on an annual basis or a monthly basis or whatever that subscription is, but because you're paying for the platform, the connectivity, and everything else as a full solution, right? So when you're talking about your sewing machine example, it's really, what is that solution? Is it just the sewing machines, or the sewing machines sending data to the cloud where you're looking at, how they're operating? Do they need to have, whatever maintenance provided on those things? And that's a whole comprehensive solution. And that's actually what we're monitoring, but we're also able to control that subscription by turning on and turning off the spigot in the gateway, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I got most of it. I think like the overall goal would be is just to monitor things at a higher level for the customer, including like how many colors you're using, when the machine is down, when it's running, what speeds it's running at, things like that.
Yeah, so I'll provide a little bit of extra in there, as well as, I would encourage you to go to digi.com. We have many customer examples that can kind of show you how you might lay out something similar to what you're talking about. There's many reasons why with the solution, like what you're talking about, whether it be, at each of the sewing machines, there's no power outlet available. So you need to operate under your own power, right? So there are power limitations of the network, or whether the actual devices or the company, in the industrial factory won't allow you to get on their Wi-Fi network. That, and the fact that Wi-Fi is generally unreliable as is managed by outside IoT organizations. So what we've really found is the best way to resolve these situations is to have a drop-in network. So you're dropping in your own network, right? So what we would do generally is you would have a 2.4 gigahertz, Zigbee or Digi mesh network, and each of these nodes could be battery powered. So they're standalone units. You can attach them to the sewing machine in order to monitor that sewing machine and alert somebody, hey, this one needs maintenance, or something along those lines when that happens. And we'd then be able to communicate to a singular gateway device that could run over cellular. So your entire system is standalone. You're not reliant on any other IT organization or anybody else. in order to have your connectivity. You can be sure that, you put your Zipit SIM in there, you have multiple carrier support, so you have redundancy, and, you're able to communicate to each of your end devices, and your end devices are able to communicate events back.
Yeah,
That makes sense. So your mindset is try to get standalone because you can't get access to. You're kind of like hacking into your business's network, if you will. You want to do a standalone solution, especially with 5G coming around the corner. It's going to be even cleaner, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's correct. Cellular is really just becoming more and more ubiquitous, and with partners like Zipit and others, more and more affordable in order to drop in your own network like this.
Yeah, actually, I echo what Alec just indicated. I think he gave you a great example. We've noticed that over the past couple of years, you've heard a lot of the stories about certain retail organizations getting compromised because they had third-party devices that got added to the network, and that introduced some vulnerabilities. So there's been a major clampdown in the corporate environment of really not allowing third-party devices to hop on that particular network, whether it's a retail store or whether it's a healthcare organization or some other enterprises, and having the affordable cellular backhaul and being able to leverage the great hardware from Digi allows you to deploy a solution and not rely on that corporate entity. Not to mention, it reduces the amount of certification that you have to go through the IT organization, the vetting process, so to speak, because you're not necessarily attaching to their network.
Got it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The only other thing I would add is just any other great examples, success stories around the IoT side from a business standpoint. I mean, the temperature transducers, or actually measuring temperature in remote locations for development or transportation of the vaccines, I think was a really big insight for me. And then of course the irrigation systems, I think that's good if it could be tied to weather and water and how much usage and utilization. That's pretty cool. So any other things that you could share would be great.
Yeah, it's tough to even break that down, right? As there's so many different areas that Digi and cellular can play a role today. We're in anything from transportation with one of the largest deployed networks of cellular routers in New York City. We're in every street corner, right, running cameras and their whole transportation system there. We're in elevators doing predictive maintenance in elevators in large 20-story plus buildings. Agriculture is a huge one for Digi. The medical space in general, mainly because of all the certifications and the longevity of our product that are required, is a huge one for us. We run in basically like any hospital environment that's providing treatment and needs to do mobile heart monitoring or things like that. We have many applications there where Digi plays a role. So really in lots of different applications.
Very good. Thank you for sharing.
Excellent. Wonderful question. Alec, we did have a question in the chat as well from Bobby.
Yeah, so I could take a shot at that first one. So I was just about to reply to Bobby, but I figured it would be great for other people to be aware of that. Just to make sure everybody understands what Bobby wrote in the event people are dialed in. Basically said that a few years ago, I had worked with some AWS IoT offerings and learned that they preferred to monetize their IoT mostly based on cents or fractions of cents per message. Have you seen any of these challenges with AWS solutions, or have things become more flexible in the choice of monetization models? And that's a good question, Bobby, but the reality is that one thing is monetizing the cloud and the transactions on the cloud, the data, the storage, and everything else. The other thing is monetizing the entire solution. Most of our customers actually use AWS or Azure backend cloud to be able to offer and provide that data. We have one customer, for example, we talk about healthcare. we have one customer that's doing connected diapers, and it's connected diapers in an industrial setting for, long-term patient care, 1,000-bed facility, monitoring patients if they've been turned over, things like that. And so there's sensors on those diapers that are connected to a gateway that's sending the data to the cloud. That's a solution that the hospital's paying for, right? And it really is not, actually the monetization on that side is based on a patient, on a per patient basis. It has nothing to do with, the microtransactions or the AWS model, how they bill. It just becomes part of the overall solution. And what we're seeing is that the value in a lot of these solutions, like even the Hunter example that we gave you, that uses AWS, right? But the example of how they monitor and monetize the cloud is completely different to how the solution itself, the overall solution, is monetized.
Yeah, and that's great, Ralph. And the other thing I'll add in there from the Digi perspective is, we provide many different avenues to be able to get around this. One big piece of our devices is that edge intelligence. So I talked about that MicroPython or Python capabilities on all of our cellular routers and XP devices. So that can allow you to, minimize the amount of messages sent. You're only sending messages when it's an emergency and when you truly need that data. You're not wasting extra messages by just sending inherent data because your device isn't smart and it doesn't know when to or when not to send the data. So we can help you to add some edge intelligence and limit your data usage across to those cloud platforms that way. I will say most cloud platforms today are charged the way you say. It's per, fractions of a cent per bytes is kind of how they transact there. One way that Digi can help you to be ubiquitous and have some real negotiating power with those cloud platforms is the fact that, you can bring things first into our Digi Remote Manager platform. So any of these data points that you're monitoring, you could bring into Digi Remote Manager. And then Digi Remote Manager has a full RESTful API that would allow you to send it to either Azure, Google Cloud, AWS, or the cloud service of your choice, right? So it provides you choices, so you can at least at that point shop around and you're not beholden to one particular service in order to monetize that.
Awesome, guys. Great. Does anyone have any other questions that Alec or Ralph could answer before we finish up for today? All right, well, excellent. Alec, Ralph, Ed, thank you all very much for all of your time.
Thank you, Maddie. We really
Yes.
appreciate it.
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Joining.
Everyone have a great rest of your day.
You too.